Hello and welcome back. As always, my name is Lazar and today I want to do a bit of a news show for you guys. A lot of events transpired for Heroes of the Storm and for Overwatch, but none of them was so major that I should have done a video on them. So I just want to make a little bit of a recap for you guys. You may or may not be aware of these predicaments. So let's start off with Heroes of the Storm and the removal of the Haunted Mines Battleground. Let's see what Blizzard has to say on this one. This battleground has been removed from all matchmaking queues for the foreseeable future, but is still playable in custom games. We'll be adding Towers of Doom to the map pool in an upcoming patch, which we already got. This will expand the size of our map pool to 10 total battlegrounds. To prevent the number of maps we have available to players in Quick Match and Hero League from being overbearing, we've decided to temporarily rotate out Haunted Mines. We feel the number of maps we have available are reaching a threshold that we may not be comfortable with. Alright guys, so that's what Blizzard has to say. Personally, I never liked Haunted Mines, and you may not be aware of this, but we had free versions of Haunted Mines up until this point. They played around with this formula a lot during the alpha, and from my point of view, it was never really right to begin with. The concept is absolutely brilliant. I just don't know why I don't like playing on it. It was a snowball fest for the most part, okay? It was rather difficult to make a comeback on Haunted Mines, but this was before the scaling changes. With the scaling changes, I really don't know because I can't play on it anymore. You can still go custom games and play Haunted Mines if you so desire. However, this raises other questions. Will this mean we are not getting any more battlegrounds? Because they're saying they're not comfortable with 10. Or will we get additional battlegrounds and they'll keep on rotating other older battlegrounds out? And if so, what do they base this on? Okay, is it player feedback? Is it what? Why this specific battleground and not another? I'm sure they got some sort of statistics, but you never really can vote anywhere which map you want to play on. I suggested a while ago that when it comes to quick match modes, players should be allowed to select which maps they want to play. Have a little checkbox thingy on the right, left, whatever, okay? And just let us select which maps we want to play on. Make it so you gotta select at least 3 or 4, something like that, and just check this, and I don't want to play this, and this, and this, and so on and so forth. Okay, this should give them some very good statistical data, okay, on what we like and what we don't like. But anyway, I don't mind the removal of Haunted Mines. Like I said, I never really enjoyed it, but this is a bit of a concern when it comes to new battlegrounds being added, and is a bit of a concern because sometimes, well, you might get a battleground removed which you might actually like. For me, for example, maybe they remove Dragonshire. I really wouldn't like that. Okay, just an example. Anyway, let's move on to the next subject. The next subject being a whole bunch of tweets from Mr. Dustin Browder, and some good information here. First off, Artanis is getting buffed. Yeah, apparently the balance team is working on some changes for Artanis. Well, and specifically buffs, okay guys? So I definitely like this because I like playing Artanis. I never really felt he is underpowered. Okay, maybe a tad, maybe a little bit. It depends on what I compare him with and on what specific subject. But I like Artanis. The fact that he's getting buffs, for me personally, is awesome. Did he really need this? I honestly don't believe so. But anyway, Artanis buffs are on the way. Another thing, we should talk about Sylvanas and her second heroic ability. You know, the one nobody picks up. Possession. This has been awful since launch, and it's still bloody awful, and well, players don't really pick it up, and I don't recommend you guys do it either. It's mostly worthless. Okay, this is a good idea. Again, on paper is a good idea, but in execution, nah. So they're looking into making possession a bit more viable. Hopefully this time they won't nerf the other heroic ability again, in the hope that we'll pick up this one. Hopefully. What else we got here? Let's see. Will we have a new specialist soon? Apparently, guys, there's no new specialist on the radar for the foreseeable future. I am excited the most about specialists because you never really know what you're gonna get. Okay, what's gonna be inside the box. When it's an assassin, okay, he's gonna do damage. When it's a warrior, maybe he's gonna be a bruiser, or maybe he's gonna be a tank, and that's about it. When it comes to supports, he's either gonna be utility or healer, and that's about it. But with a specialist, you don't really know what you're gonna get. I think with specialists, they got the biggest playground, okay, when it comes to actual awesome and actual new and interesting abilities and mechanics. So no foreseeable specialist for the future, and that's a bit of a letdown. Let's move on. No ETA until next year for Team League bans. So no bans yet, guys, and I don't mind this, to be honest, because the current system we got needs an overhaul. When it comes to ranked gameplay, needs an entire big ass overhaul, especially for Team League, and then bans. Sure, okay, so the bans are not the problem right now, the whole system is the problem. So revamp the system, then give us bans. I think that is the best way of going about it. Alright, ATA on Arena. Arena, apparently, according to Mr. Browder, again, this information comes from him, Arena is late next year. And this is the biggest letdown for me, because I really need Arena, okay guys? Like I mentioned before, I'm a little bit burned out on Heroes of the Storm. I would definitely love to go in an Arena and play. But we can't. And is late next year? Damn, that's a lot. What is late next year? Is like December or something like that. But anyway, there you go, that's the news for Arena, kinda sad. Any ETA on a new matchmaking system? No ETA on the new matchmaking system, which they talked a little bit about BlizzCon 2015. They're still targeted for the end of this year, so hopefully by the end of the year we'll get it. If not, no problem, just make it so it doesn't suck. Okay, give us in January, February, whenever you guys feel comfortable with, just make it, please. Please make it so it doesn't suck. And the last subject on the list for Heroes of the Storm is the Black Friday sales, which are about to close on December 7th. So please keep in mind, December 7th, Black Friday sales will end for Heroes of the Storm. Now you probably noticed that everything in the shop is 50% off. Everything. All skins, all heroes. When it comes to actual real money prices, okay, not gold prices. So if you've been holding off on buying that special hero, that special skin, that special mount which you want, this might be a good time to pick it up. 50% off for Heroes of the Storm is a good price reduction. I'm not gonna talk about the actual prices in Heroes of the Storm, which are obscene if I compare them to any other major MOBA. Okay, but the point is they're 50% off, so you might want to hurry up and pick up what you want to pick up before December 7th. And that's about it for Heroes of the Storm. We're gonna move on to Overwatch. We got a big piece of news here. Overwatch beta is going offline on the December 10th. Okay guys, so the beta will be brought offline on December 10th and will come back online mid to late January 2016. They're going to improve the game and work on features like spectating and the actual progression system. Let's go over some Q&A here. Maybe you guys got some questions on it. If I have access to the closed beta now, will I have access when it comes back online in January? Yes. Okay, so nobody's losing their access. If you got access to the beta, you will still have it when it comes back online in January. Will any more players be added to the closed beta before it's brought offline? No. Will any more players be brought into the beta when it comes back online? Yeah, sure. Apparently they want to add more people to the beta. Now, regarding this, I really don't get it. Why would you do this? They say they want to work on the game. Really? You can work on a separate server. You can work on the build offline. You can put it, like I said, on a separate closed server. You don't need to bring it offline to work on it. Okay, let's not kid anybody. No, that's not really necessary to do. So I'm wondering why is it going offline? I honestly have no real legitimate answer for this one. I mean, there's no real answer given to this question. Okay, just the blah blah. So I don't know, why would you bring the beta offline? There's no real point to this. Are they unhappy with the experience players are getting? Could this be it, folks? Could players be reporting that they are not having a good time in the beta, so they don't add more fuel to the fire, they taking it offline? That can't be it. If you read through the comments and people's opinions, everybody in general has a very good impression of Overwatch, including me, which I'm not an FPS guy. Okay, so I don't know why was this necessary, and I really don't understand the motives for this one. And that's gonna do it, folks. Thank you for watching. My name has been Lazar. Please let me know in the comment section down below if you like this format. Okay, when news is interesting and there's a whole bunch of it, you want me to do one of these episodes for you guys just to keep you up to speed. A like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you again soon.